All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So Joe Douglas actually did an interview a couple days ago with Mike Florio of ProFootballTalk, touched on a bunch of different topics, right? Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, of course, kind of the expectations, the pressures that the Jets are facing in 2023. And in this one, I wanted to break down the interview. And of course, I'll leave the full interview listed down below in the description box. I think it's like 20, 30 minutes, somewhere in that range. It's a pretty good watch, right? So I would definitely recommend checking it out. But let's start off with this. This is something that I think is really cool just naturally as a fan, but something I didn't really think of. It's kind of a long-term approach, but it also really benefits the team in the short term, which is Joe Douglas said that he wants to make the Jets the destination, right? The destination to free agents, the destination to draft picks, right? Everything about the New York Jets, the landing spot in the NFL. He talked about he wanted guys to, play for this Jets team and then walk away better guys, better players, loving their experience with the green and white, and just we have kind of seen that before in the past. I mean, like Brandon Marshall's a really, really good example of that. Talking about, just a couple days ago that he's willing to come out of retirement. But LT is another guy that I feel like really reps the Jets hard. There's just like a lot of players throughout the years, even though their tenure with the Jets is short, they still like have all the love in the world for the New York Jets. Like, yo, that organization is awesome. So I totally get what Joe Douglas is saying, and he kind of linked that to the acquisition of Aaron Rodgers, where it wasn't just a forced trade like, Aaron, come on board, we're trading for you, you better get amped up and ready to go. No, it was flipped. Rodgers was 90% retired in his own words. He handpicked the Jets out of every available option to him for this upcoming season. So it's a cool perspective, a cool angle that Joe Douglas has on this Jet squad. Now, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, he did go into detail a little bit about the Packers trade. So he said initially the Green Bay Packers did in fact call the Jets first. Like that was the first domino to fall, if you will. They basically said, hey, if we were to trade Aaron Rodgers, would you be interested? And of course, the Jets said, yeah. And then things started to trickle down from there. Now, in regards to Mike Florio asked a really good question here in regards to the draft pick conditions with that future 2024 pick, the second that jumps to a first, with the requirement being Aaron Rodgers needing to play 65% of the offensive snaps. That was what Green Bay wanted. He said that there was no like ifs, ands, or buts. There was no coming down from that. No talk about like a Super Bowl condition or an AFC championship game condition or winning a playoff game condition. Nothing like that. The Green Bay Packers were solely focused on the playing time aspect. He also said that there was never a single point in the trade conversations, from the end of the Super Bowl, down to the Senior Bowl, the Combine, like all throughout the entire process, right? The entire chaotic Aaron Rodgers, I want to call it the Aaron Rodgers offseason. There was never a single point where Joe Douglas and the Jets felt like, you know what, we're just going to walk away. He did say, of course, there were sticking points, just like any trade, but there was never a point where the Jets were going to say, this is too difficult, we're going to opt for another guy, let's pivot and move this way. Never at all. It was Aaron Rodgers from the beginning. He was the go-to guy, and ultimately it obviously ended up happening. Now, when the question came up of what's the line of success, or the line that differentiates success from failure for this 2023 Jets season, right? Because the Jets are all in. You don't make this Aaron Rodgers trade to go get 8 wins. It's just not in the cards. Not the plan whatsoever. You are doing this to go win a Super Bowl. You are doing this to skyrocket the organization up to a top 3. I want to say top 3, top 2 team in the conference. That is the goal. 1 seed, Super Bowl championship, high stakes, high pressure. I mean, it comes with the territory, right? And Douglas did acknowledge that. But in regards to like a definitive line, of course he didn't give an answer. Oh yeah, we're hoping for 10 wins. Anything less is a failure. Nothing like that. But he said that he's only focused on the here and now, right? He's only focusing on today. It's early May. And I get it completely, right? The coach speak, stack brick by brick, only focus on what you can control day by day, 1-0 every week, that type of thing. I get it completely. But there's a lot of pressure. The stakes are high for this Jets squad. Everybody in the world knows that. Now, in regards to Zach Wilson, he said that one thing that's been awesome so far is to see Zach Wilson show up every single day with a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, with a smile on his face, working with Aaron Rodgers. And Florio asked him straight up, like, hey, like, how does this benefit Zach? And Douglas actually extended that answer, from Zach to the entire team. He's like, nobody wants to make the false start. Nobody wants to drop the pass. Nobody wants to miss an assignment here. Everybody wants to be everybody wants to be on like their best behavior for A-Rod. I mean, this guy's a legitimate first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best players, one of the best quarterbacks in the game has ever seen. Yeah, you don't want to be the guy messing around. You don't want to be the Achilles heel of the offense. So I really, really like that answer from JD. But in regards to Zach, he said that he's been a bit of a shadow to Rodgers. He's trying to soak in as much information as possible. He's picking up on things, really trying to, in essence, copy Rodgers to a certain degree, or he's taking what has worked for Rodgers in the past, and overall, he's in a good place. So, and then real quick before I end the video, he did talk about the draft. This came up. I didn't think it was going to get brought up, but he talked. Florio asked about the whole Patriots trading down, taking less to kind of spur the Jets, but also New England can slide back and get the player that they want. Pittsburgh can now jump up and they go select their left tackle of future in Broderick Jones. Joe Douglas said that they were kind of expecting that to happen. He wasn't surprised. They trusted their board. They're totally happy with Will McDonald, which to me is just the right answer to give, right? You don't want to be like, oh, yeah, we were totally shocked on draft night. Like, we had no clue Pittsburgh was going to come up. We had no idea Bill Belichick was trying to do that. Something like that. So I think all in all, it was a pretty cool, pretty informative interview here. And again, I'll leave it linked down below in the description box. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.